Hello guys, welcome back to our anime explainer. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Swallowed Star original continent based on novel. So let's start. Rush over from Star Tower. Black Jade smiled. CIWEKA must have paid a pretty hefty price to get you over. However, after this battle, let's head over to Star Tower together. My rewards from Yang main continent are getting smaller and smaller. It'll be better to head over to Star Tower, there may be some goods there. You are coming too. Momonu nodded, that's good. The locations in the outer region wars were separated according to their danger levels. Yang main continent was considered the most dangerous place for the human 26th camp. However, compared to the entire 7th battlefield, even though Yang main continent was still considered very dangerous, there was another above it. That most dangerous spot was Star Tower. Star Tower was one level above it. Large amounts of emperors gathered there, and officials were considered weak there. Then let's work out how we will deal with the Silver Wing Emperor. Black Jade said. Also, we should discuss our settlement of his goods and so on. This will solve any problem we may encounter later. Momobu said. Right. CIWEKA smiled and nodded. CIWEKA discussed with the two emperors that he invited on how to deal with the Silver Wing Emperor, and also about the distribution of his goods. According to the main plan and our two contingency plans, the Silver Emperor will definitely be sealed even if he doesn't die. CIWEKA was obviously very excited. His expression suddenly changed, revealing shock and rage. CIWEKA. Both emperors looked at him, feeling something amiss. I regret to say this. CIWEKA stood up. His eyes trying hard to suppress his rage as he shook his head. We cannot deal with him now. What's going on? Both emperors were getting angry. Was he deceiving them? The plan was set, the distribution of goods was done, and everybody was ready to make their move. Yet now they couldn't start. Please look at this. CIWEKA held back his rage and pointed in mid-air, a screen appeared. On it displayed all the areas CIWEKA was scanning. On that screen, a huge silver-winged beast was flying through. Suddenly a beautiful half-transparent silhouette appeared and spread its undying energy about the beast. Shua. They vanished in mid-air. Teleportation. Both emperors frowned. Right, teleportation. CIWEKA gritted his teeth. This despicable Silver Wing Emperor is too crafty. I followed him secretly and he actually got help from his allies. This teleportation is far out of my scanner's detection radius. I don't know where he's gone. Black Jade and Death Soul Emperor exchanged glances, helpless. However, you two. CIWEKA spoke, this matter is not over. I will send out a bounty to get help from all our allies. With countless allies looking out, as long as we find him, I will immediately know. Then I will inform you too. Both emperors nodded. This is the only thing we can do for now. Death Soul nodded, then I'll take my leave. He left the virtual world. Contact me when you find him. Black Jade left too. Both emperors were obviously unhappy. If CIWEKA's background wasn't that huge, then the two of them wouldn't have been so polite. Bastard. CIWEKA slapped the table angrily, gritting his teeth. He actually escaped. As long as you are on the main continent, I definitely won't give you a chance. With countless allies looking for you, the moment we discover your whereabouts, you will be done for. CIWEKA immediately informed a large amount of his allies, sending out a bounty for his whereabouts. ****************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************** peak. The large one was as big as a mountain, covered in silver scales. It was a huge silver-winged beast. The small silhouette, however, was a 10 m tall lady with misty wings. She was enchanting with a half-transparent body, covered in a robe armor. She had crystal-like hair and eyes as deep as the ocean. Star Fantasy Emperor. The golden horned beast gazed at the little dot. Thank you for your help. By helping you this once, I easily get 10 million mixed elements. If you need similar help in the future, do call me. This is much easier than killing a pinnacle official. The transparent wings flapped, and her eyes were like water. If there's nothing else, Silver Wing Emperor, I'll be leaving. The beast nodded. Hua. She vanished. What a good way to earn money. The beast instantly vanished too. A black armored Luo Feng appeared within the lake. He couldn't help but mutter. 10 million mixed elements at once. My teacher, Hu Yangbo, only had that much. Spending money to get rid of the threat. After teleporting 1 light year away. That Ci Wei Ka definitely cannot find me. Luo Feng thought. When he deduced that the automaton warrior would never give up, following him from the distance, he immediately made the decision to spend money to get help. Even though he could get his third senior bloodthirst emperor to help, he wasn't in the outer region battlefield, and a long-distance god country teleportation would be monitored by Ci Wei Ka. It would easily reveal his god country location to others. Hence, Luo Feng would rather spend the money and get someone who could use teleportation from the human camp. Getting his ally to teleport him away. Very simple. Simply teleporting without having to battle, hence the cost didn't have to be too high. 10 million mixed elements was a normal amount. If it was too low, the warriors able to teleport wouldn't bother with it. This price was normal. If he needed the allies to come fight it out, the price would be much higher. Who? Luo Feng flipped his hand. A small sesame seed-sized pair of silver wings appeared and merged with his body. He grew a pair of wings. Their color changed slightly. This was a true treasure. Changing its color was very simple. After melding with the Showu wings, Luo Feng gave off a powerful energy. His Sector Lord energy was completely covered by that pair of the wings. He immediately became a black-winged god. Let's go. Luo Feng causally picked a C9 grade ship from his countless ships and sat in it, swiftly leaving. The ship flew over the main continent. Luo Feng, Luo Feng. Barbata's voice rang in his mind. There's an important notice you should see. This is the summary of what the scanner picked up. It's a group of other race undyings chatting 920 million kilometers away. HM. Luo Feng sat within his control room and looked at the screen on his arm. It immediately played a broadcast of 3 undyings chatting. 50 million indigo gems. Hee, what a huge amount. 50 million indigo gems, just to reveal the coordinates of the Silver Wing Emperor. The moment it's confirmed, we'll get 50 million indigo gems. This bounty, just where is it from? The reward for the information sure is high. Isn't this person too wealthy? Who knows, however the one sending this bounty out definitely wouldn't dare deceive us. This is a public broadcast after all, and countless allies will know of it. If he dared to deceive us, not paying after, it would offend the entire alliance. HM. Poor Silver Wing Emperor. This Silver Wing Emperor will find it hard to travel about Yangji main continent. Looking at the details of the scanner, Luo Feng frowned. Luo Feng, that enemy won't give up. Barbata communicated. That's expected. I did steal an important ship of his. It is an important part of the 9 absolute god county. Luo Feng mocked. However, since it's a public broadcast of the bounty for the Automaton Alliance on Yangji main continent, HMPH. Looks like this punk has prepared backup and has confidence in dealing with me. Otherwise, he wouldn't have gone public with this. Looks like I cannot reveal the golden horned beast for a while. Caution is important. Barbata emphasized. Luo Feng nodded. He was very clear that the enemy was prepared to take him on. He was just waiting for the chance. Damn. My scanner is too lousy compared to his, otherwise I wouldn't have been in this position. The moment my scanner is more advanced than his, I can take the advantage. Luo Feng gritted his teeth. I cannot delay anymore. I'll head over to the 26th camp now, and find a way to get a high price for my items. With enough wealth, I can buy a better scanner. Su. The ship swiftly flew away from the main continent. This trip back to the 26th camp would take a year and a half to reach. Asterisk, 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 asterisk. Along the way, at a travel spot on Yang main continent closest to Luo Feng. Wing. The space rippled and a black blade ship appeared. Travel complete. Your Majesty, we will take another 6 days to reach the outer regions of the main continent. There are large amounts of fragments there, even the fragments of Yang continent are huge. It would take a long time to fly. It will take about 1 or 2 months of flying to get to the main continent. The black rock statue-like youth gave off a dark energy. He gazed at the vast space through the ship. Yang continent is my first step. The black armored youth said softly. Just as this youth's ship went through universe travel, Luo Feng's expression changed in his ship. There. Luo Feng turned fiercely, staring hard at the travel point. His gaze seemingly passing through the barriers of space itself, gazing at the distant point. There. Treasure. Luo Feng felt every cell in his body shiver with excitement, almost like countless starving beggars seeing food. This uproar from every cell in his body, they all locked in on that direction. Luo Feng seemed to feel something ahead in that travel point. A treasure that made every cell in his body jump. It was there. This feeling is similar to the soldier and general armor. Luo Feng's heartbeat rose. But even both armors never made me shiver like this before. This feeling is extremely strong despite the distance. It definitely far exceeds the importance of the two armors. Luo Feng cleared his throat. Just what is it? In the air above Yang main continent, a C9 silver-colored blue disc-shaped ship was flying. The distance is shrinking. We are getting closer. Luo Feng's expression was serious. Every cell in his body was jumping, locked on a certain spot far away. He could clearly feel that as time passed, the dot moved closer to the main continent. It's moving. Just what is it? It can actually call out to me so strongly from so far away. Luo Feng frowned and pondered. There's a high chance it's linked to the Nameless Manual. Only the related treasures, like the soldier and general armor, can call out to me like that. The calling he felt, he had always thought it was very mysterious. As normally even treasures wouldn't call out to people. Like the Shogu wings or beast god armament etc., there were countless powerful warriors and treasures in Primal Chaos City, however he had never felt such a feeling before. And Luo Feng had checked through the virtual universe network before. He had never seen any information about a treasure calling out to people at all, hence he deduced. This treasure must have a high requirement for its user, like one had to be trained in the Nameless Manual to use it, hence the powerful calling. I've checked. Within the virtual universe treasure trove, there's no such mysterious god armor that allows one to have the strength of 1,000 sector lords, or even 10,000 sector lords. Such a special armor, at least with my authority, I haven't been able to find one. The soldier and general armor have been in the Wulong starfield for countless years, yet no one has ever discovered their power. Luo Feng nodded. In summary, there were very few treasures linked to the Nameless Manual, at least humanity's understanding of it was very little. It's moving. Just what is it? A treasure? Or a life form? Luo Feng was filled with curiosity. Days passed. Luo Feng sat in his ship and continued towards the space outside the main continent. The area was simply too huge, even flying at sub-light speed for 3 months. The ship had yet to fly out of the main continent area. We are close. It's getting closer to us. We will probably meet in half a month. Luo Feng suppressed his excitement. It's been flying these 3 months, maintaining sub-light speed. Then, it's very likely that it's within a ship. The distance got smaller. When it was within 10 billion kilometer away, Luo Feng purposely stopped his ship. Stop. Luo Feng's eyes flashed, gazing into the distant space, almost like he spotted the ship. 10 billion kilometer away. 9 billion, 8 billion, the distance shrank. In a blink of an eye, 5 hours passed. No. Luo Feng shook his head and frowned. it didn't head towards us, and is continuing to fly towards the main continent. I can only feel it, and that ship probably cannot sense us, otherwise it would have headed towards us long ago. The owner of the ship isn't like me, he cannot feel the soldier and general armor. Very good. Luo Feng smiled. The ability to feel the treasure, the enemy didn't have it, this was good news. Get close. Luo Feng ordered, head towards it. Yes. Barbata replied. Luo Feng pointed in the direction and the ship headed towards the mysterious treasure. The distance shrank. 3 billion kilometer, 2 billion kilometer. Asterisk 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 asterisk. The blade-like ship was flying above the air of the main continent. A black armored youth stood within the ship's control room, gazing at the scenery outside, laughing. It is indeed a battlefield, this main continent has so many strong warriors. After 2 months of flying above the continent, I've already clashed 10 times with other strong warriors. They really have some peculiar techniques, it's thrilling. There's no way I would have met so many other race warriors staying within our own territory. Only by coming to the outer region wars where there are plenty of strong warriors, would I feel how vast the universe is. There were hardly any repetitions of the races I fought, almost every team was a new race altogether. This is after all the outer region wars, the battlefield for the 4 pinnacle races. An underling spoke respectfully. When will my race become a pinnacle race? The black armored youth sighed. Even though my race is strong, and there is only a level difference between a strong race and a pinnacle race, however the strength difference is unimaginable. Whether it's the number of basic undyings, or the number of absolute warriors, they cannot be compared at all. Only by forming alliances with other powerful races will our race be able to become a pinnacle race. Your Majesty. An underling spoke, the universe has 6 pinnacle races after all. It's extremely hard to become one. What's more, with our huge alliances, we naturally don't have to fear the pinnacle races too, we can at least stand equal with them. The youth nodded. Within the universe, there were 6 pinnacle races, they were the strongest amongst the trillions of others. However, they weren't invincible. While other races may not match up to the pinnacle races alone, with their alliances, their strength would far exceed the 6 pinnacle races by tens of thousands of times. The numbers of the other races were after all huge, hence there were many alliances within the universe. While they may be weak alone, forming alliances allowed them to stand on par with the pinnacle races. There were different levels of alliances too. The power struggle within the universe was brutal. The proud lonely space beasts were also forced to form their space beast alliance, allowing them to stay in power. They were at most willing to do this. As for the demon race wanting them to be absorbed into their race, the space beasts disliked the demons in the first place. Why would they even bother? The 2 ships got closer. 1 billion kilometer, this was within Luo Feng's scanning area. He should be about 990 million kilometers away. Luo Feng clearly felt the coordinates of the treasure. Barbata, have you discovered anything? 990 million kilometers. However, Luo Feng, the scanner hasn't picked up any ship within that distance. I've only discovered 2 ships, one is 510 million kilometers away, and the other is 780 million kilometers away. Barbata said, but we haven't discovered your target. Luo Feng frowned. Get closer, follow the direction. Luo Feng ordered. The distance got smaller. 800 million kilometer, 6. Nothing. Nothing. The distance is within 420 million kilometers, no ship has still been detected. Barbata said, and we haven't detected any other ship flying at sublight speed. Luo Feng's expression changed. He clearly felt the treasure moving at sublight speed, yet the scanners picked up nothing. The biggest possibility was, the enemy has a scanner more advanced than his. When we encountered the automaton warrior before, his scanner was more advanced than mine. Could it be that this life form is the same? Luo Feng cursed. Stop. Luo Feng ordered. The ship stopped. In the distance, the blade ship continued forward, even though they weren't exactly flying towards each other, the distance continued to shrink. 380 million kilometer, 360 million kilometer, 300 million kilometer. Luo Feng could feel the dot moving all the time, clearly feeling it change directions. It actually began to head towards them. It was clear that they had locked onto his ship. We've been discovered. Luo Feng opened his eyes suddenly. The enemy has discovered us. Luo Feng looked down at this arm screen. There was still nothing on his scanners, even anything flying at sublight speed. My scanner hasn't picked up anything. The enemy is already 300 million kilometers away, and has locked onto our position. It's changed its direction, and is flying towards us. It's obvious he has a more advanced scanner. Within the Blade ship, there's a black-winged human in the distance. There's only him in the ship. He should be some winged human from humanity. The underling said respectfully, Your Majesty's scanner was a gift from the night. It's definitely top-notch within Yangji main continent. This human has no clue. The black-armored youth nodded. The two of them got closer. 200 million kilometer, 100 million kilometer. The Blade ship headed towards Luo Feng's ship. The direction was spot on without any error. What do we do? Luo Feng felt every cell in his body jump, his blood boiling. Excitement. Uproar. It was almost like he was about to obtain an impressive treasure. He had to fight hard to suppress it. Do I go all out and fight for it? Or immediately flee? If I go for it, the Bug Clan army has to be within 100,000 kilometers. If the distance is too far, it would be too easy to dodge. If I let the golden horned beast out, that would reveal its location. Who knows which camp this enemy is from? I can definitely confirm it's not from the human camp. If it's the automaton camp, the moment they see the beast, they would immediately inform the enemy and he would probably teleport over. Luo Feng was calculating all decisions. What do I do? To have such an advanced scanner, he's definitely not a normal official, or he has some huge background. Or he must be extremely powerful. My Earth body can only deal with a low-level official. To have such a scanner, he definitely has more strength than that. Luo Feng was worried. He wanted to fight it out for the treasure. But his strength wasn't sufficient. The only hope was the golden horned beast. However, there was the risk of revealing its location, and if revealed, the automaton warrior from before would definitely appear with more power than before. 90 million kilometer, 80 million. Luo Feng clearly felt the distance shrink. The ships kept getting closer. Luo Feng, don't risk the danger. Don't lose your mind because of the treasure. Barbata said urgently. This is the outer region wars. Even though you may get treasures through the dangers, whether it's this enemy before you or the automaton enemy from the past, your scanner is no match for theirs. You are disadvantaged. If you take the risk, you may very likely lose your life. Luo Feng clearly felt the distance get closer. 56.39 million kilometer, 50. As it got closer, the calling got stronger too. If his willpower wasn't strong enough, his body would have simply jumped out on its own and rushed towards the treasure. Leave? Luo Feng gritted his teeth and ordered. We leave immediately, head towards the travel point. Yes. Barbata said excitedly. Su. The ship that was stopped in the air fiercely accelerated, quickly reaching sub-light speed and flying above the main continent. This scene made the black-armored youth chasing him frown. Your Majesty, the target is moving and has reached sub-light speed. He's heading in the complete opposite direction. Even if we chase at the same speed, we can only get close slowly through angles. It would probably take a long time to catch him. The prerequisite is that he doesn't know we are chasing him. An underling said. The black-armored youth shook his head. This human is lucky, let's give up. There are many other powerful warriors on the main continent. Yes. The Blade ship swiftly decreased its speed and headed in its original direction. Hence, the two ships got further away from each other. Luo Feng sat in his control room and wielded his blood shadow blade, rubbing it and saying softly, the weaker ones shouldn't mess with the stronger ones. More haste and less speed. My scanner is weaker than the enemy's, and I'm unable to use my strongest card. I'm also oblivious to the enemy. an enemy with such a scanner must be one with some background. If I fight now, I probably can't win. It would be a tragedy. He shook his head. Bear with it. Since he's come to the main continent, and from where he's headed, it's obviously towards the deep regions of the main continent. He's here to explore the continent. It would take over 3 months from here to the closest travel point, and my return to the camp would take less than 4 months before I return here. Unless he's dumb enough to come here and return immediately. Otherwise, even with my trip back and forth from the camp, I should still be able to find him. Luo Feng confirmed. Anyone that came to the main continent, as long as they didn't fall, would at least stay for hundreds if not tens of thousands of years. And that enemy had obviously just come to the main continent. From where it was headed, it was obvious that it was towards deeper regions of the continent. The continent was vast. The moment one flew it, it would take a few years to circle around it. Even from far, I can still feel the treasure. When I return, I should be able to clearly feel his position. Back to the camp. Even though he was unwilling, he could only bear with it. Everything would have to wait till he returned from the camp. Flying straight to the travel point from the main continent and later traveling straight to the 26th camp. It took over 3 months for this return. The camp. The disc-shaped ship was like a bead of sand. The camp itself was like a huge planet. Luo Feng gazed at the camp. The malevolent war machine was larger than a sun with a diameter of over 1 million kilometers. It was a pinnacle AAA god base, and its colorful energy barrier surrounded it. Its malevolent ancient-looking cannon had complex engravings around its barrel. It made Luo Feng shudder within. It was a perfect piece of art. D.I. Soldier Luo Feng, your ship will now be controlled by the camp. Do not resist. If you resist, you will be attacked and the consequences will be deadly. As the ship got close, it was forcefully taken over by the camp. Who? The ship was brought to a pathway into the base, following the pathways for a while before it entered a huge hall. Luo Feng had returned to the camp. Welcome back, soldier. A silver-uniformed human worker smiled and welcomed Luo Feng from the cabin door. Did you choose to retire or come back to rest? Rest. Luo Feng waved his hand and kept the ship in his world ring. Follow me. The worker smiled. Luo Feng followed. The worker said, as a free soldier, you have no need to follow the arrangements of the army. You can choose when you want to return to battle or rest. You can also choose to bring an army or not. However, it is rare to see a lone wolf in the outer region wars. I don't like it crowded. Luo Feng glanced at him. The worker smiled. The two of them became beams of light and quickly reached tens of thousands of kilometers away. The left end is the entertainment region, restaurants, and gathering, as all sorts of entertainment can be found there. Ahead is where the free soldiers live. Their living arrangements are much better. He said. You should have been arranged a place. Just retrieve the number given to you and head over. As for entertainment, you can head to the left. If you want to head back out, you can follow this path. Luo Feng nodded. Then I won't be bothering you. The worker was very respectful as he left. Luo Feng glanced ahead. Not bad. Luo Feng complimented. Tens of thousands of kilometers ahead, there was a mountain range with rivers and trees, along with some snowy and sandy areas. This was the top-class living quarters of the camp, and it was almost just like a holiday on a planet. To a base with a diameter exceeding millions of kilometers, such a space was easy to make. Luo Feng's quarters was an island in the middle of a lake. Soldier Luo Feng, this island is your private quarters. While you stay here, no one else is allowed to enter the island. The beautiful island became his private territory. Luo Feng walked on the gentle sand and he was satisfied. Hey! He suddenly heard a loud shout. Luo Feng turned to look. In a distant island, there was an undying human, dressed in loose long robes, covered in green fur and walking barefoot on the sand. Even though he was far, both had vision capable of seeing each grain of sand on their islands. The green furry man smiled and said, I'm called Kutuor, welcome neighbor. I am called Yang. Luo Feng smiled. Yang, are you a pinnacle official or emperor? The distant Kutuor smiled. Luo Feng was curious, why are you asking this? Ha ha, these private spaces are for the free soldiers. However, they all have different living quarters. Some have normal spots, while others have more luxurious places such as villas. To have an island by yourself or a mountain peak, these are the top-class quarters. Normally only those with high contribution points have the right to live here. They are normally emperors, however from the energy you give off, you seem to be pinnacle official. Luo Feng couldn't help but laugh. Right? His contribution points were mostly brought in by the golden horned beast. Hence, he did earn quite a bit. Being given this place, he belonged in the place of an emperor. The human body with the Shogwu wings gave off the energy of a pinnacle official. Almost an emperor. Luo Feng said, however I haven't gotten my ranking. Ha ha, looks like you've had some growth in the outer region wars. I, Kutuor, am known as the Explosion Emperor. The distant green fur man smiled. Nice to meet you. I have some matters to attend to. Once I'm done, let's go grab a drink together. Luo Feng smiled. All right. The man smiled back. The strong were as such, they would normally befriend others of the same level, and the arrangement by the army naturally gave the strong extra encounters too. Luo Feng entered his own living quarters. This was a very special place. The island took up an area of 1.2 cubic kilometer. The island itself had some 1 or 2 leveled ancient constructs, and surrounding these were ancient statues. One could also locate a few azure rivers. It's a good holiday spot. Luo Feng kept the armor and changed to his underpants, and jumped into the warm river. Lying within felt very comfortable. Time to study the goods. Within the world ring. Moshe Luo Feng wore a black robe, and stood before the huge broken pyramid. That automaton warrior sure was wealthy. However, this ship should be considered his top treasure, otherwise he wouldn't even bother to chase me. Black-clothed Luo Feng followed the slit in the pyramid, and entered the ship, after which he carefully examined each cabin. Barbata. He shouted, with a wave, robots appeared within the walkway. Arrange for a careful examination of the ship. He ordered. Leave it to me. A robot replied. The many robots immediately dispersed about. Black-clothed Luo Feng stood before a short G-grade automaton puppet. This was the only G-grade puppet in the entire ship. However, after the attack from the Million Bug Army, even though its body wasn't fully destroyed, its core within was completely shattered. This was after all an attack that would kill even the golden horned beast, much less an automaton puppet. This G-grade puppet, just its metal body alone is worth quite a bit. He muttered. With a sweep of his world energy, he checked all the items on it, quickly discovering the world ring. This should be where the large automaton puppet army is kept. This video will end here.